Welcome to a Halloween special coming to you from the Saw 6 premiere at the Chinese Theater. Although in its infancy with only 6 movies in the franchise, Saw has one of the largest fan bases in the genre. In the latest installment, the filmmakers promised us to give us a glimpse of the origin. Let's look at my premiere coverage. Saw 6 concludes the second trilogy of the Saw series that focuses on the post-death effects of the Jigsaw Killer and his successor Mark Hoffman. Tobin Bell explains to us how to this day he is really surprised with the success of the Saw franchise.
We made Saw 1 and I forgot about it. And I was in the Czech Republic when they called about doing Saw 2, and we've had a really good time ever since. And I think Saw fans have kind of gravitated to the material, and we're still doing our best to make it a very visceral experience, which when you see this film, you'll know what I mean.
Denidra Howard proved there are many ways to land a role in a movie. She won her role on the reality show Scream Queens.
It probably would have been easier to go to the audition because I probably wouldn't have to have cockroaches poured on me. I had to put in swimming blood. I wouldn't have to dress up like a vampire. I wouldn't have gained weight for eating so much because I was trapped in that house. So it probably would have been easier to audition.
He was the editor of all the Saw movies from Saw 2, and this time around Kevin Greuthard got to be the director too.
I tell you, the fans are tough bosses. They really are, and I tried really hard to deliver on all the levels that they seem to want. And because I'm a fan myself, we really wanted to make it gruesome. I think it is very gruesome. We wanted the story to be good. We wanted the characters to go in directions that weren't expected but are also satisfying. But it's hard. You can't make everybody happy, but I think we hit as many as possibly could.
The first 5 movies in the franchise have earned close to $350 million at the box office, which means that with the 6th installment they will probably exceed the earnings of its rival franchises Halloween, Friday the 13th and Nightmare at Elm Street. And talking about all those scary movies, it's Halloween, so you gotta get scared. And here is a reminder what you can get on DVD to get you scared on Halloween. We searched the internet high and low to determine what your favorite all-time horror franchises are. In 10th place, the classic Night of the Living Dead from 1968, shot in black and white. The zombie film directed by George A. Romero had a lean budget of $114,000, but it determined the ground rules for all zombie movies that followed. In 9th place, Halloween, which was credited of being the first slasher movie, is about the murderous monster Mike Myers. 10 movies followed in the franchise. The latest was released just a few months ago, 32 years after the original movie was released. In 8th place, Child's Play spawned 4 sequels and has gone into other media such as comic books. The films all feature Chucky, a killer good guy's doll with the soul of the Lakeshore Strangler, Charles Lee Ray. The series started in a straight-out horror fashion but became more horror comedy as it went on. In 7th place, this was probably the most critically acclaimed horror franchise, The Exorcist. Based on the 1971 novel by William Peter Blatty, The Exorcist inspired 2 prequels. In 6th place, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise consists of 8 slasher films, a television show, novels, and comic books. The franchise was created by movie director Wes Craven and based on the fictional character Freddy Krueger, who stalks and kills teenagers in their dreams. In 5th place, Friday the 13th had 12 films, a television show, novels, and comic books focusing on a fictional character of Jason Voorhees, who drowned at Camp Crystal Lakes as a boy due to the negligence of the camp staff and now comes back to revenge whoever comes to the camp. In 4th place, the Saw franchise revolves around the fictional character of John Kramer, also called the Jigsaw Killer, who rather than kill his victims outright traps them in situations which he calls tests and games to test their will to live via physical and psychological torture. The franchise already has 6 movies and 2 more in pre-production. In 3rd place, the Scream film series is the second horror franchise created by Wes Craven, which main plot involves around a psychopathic serial killer wearing a Halloween costume attempting to kill Sidney Prescott and various other characters involved in her life. The franchise had 3 movies and the 4th is due next year. In the number 2 spot is the Alien series, which was one of the first science fiction horror movies, focusing on Lieutenant Ellen Ripley and her battle with an extraterrestrial extraterrestrial life form commonly referred as the Alien. Alien led to 5 movie sequels plus numerous books, comics, and video game spin-offs. In first place, The Evil Dead is a series of 3 horror films created by Spider-Man director Sam Raimi. The film focuses on protagonist Ash Williams, who deals with deadites, which are demons created by the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. The Evil Dead was one of the first horror movies to inspire an off-Broadway musical. An interesting fact is that all those horror movies actually don't fare that well in the box office compared to big Hollywood franchises. However, once they hit DVD, they triple their income. And that's a wrap for entertainment for this week. Always a pleasure connecting you to Hollywood. From the Saw 6 premiere at the Chinese Theater, I'm Ron Jacobsohn.